I'm not at Łazienki Park. Łazienki means like bathroom or baths. It's a similar thing in the UK. They have a city called Bath. It's because in the past some rich guy, in Poland's case one of the kings, decided to build a castle here. A palace, not a castle, a palace here to take his summer baths. That's not the palace, but that's a building you should go into. You can buy an audio guide, actually. And the audio guide will first lead you through the palace on the Isle, which I'm heading to right now. Well, heading to in a bit. And after that, it will lead you to this place, which is a museum inside. And it's the theater. So you get to see actually the Royal Theater, which I believe is still in operation. You can watch plays there and stuff. And they have a gallery of like marble statues or something. Yeah, marble statues. In the distance there, in the hammering, it's supposed to be like the third exhibit in the audio guide, but it's under renovation until I think 2021 or something. Maybe 2020. Who knows? So if we walk that way, that will lead us to the palace. But I don't want to go to the palace right now. I want to go look at something else. This park is huge. It has not only these three main museums. In the outskirts is another small museum I went to full of like hunting trophies and stuff. And this museum also has like lots of statues. It's also where the Chopin concert was at yesterday. So we can see. In June is so nice. Last time I was here, it was hailing. There was absolutely nobody. The trees were desolate. There were no leaves yet, even in March. But look, right now today, it's nice. You can hear the birds chirping. That's the entrance to that part, that building, the theater. And yeah, it's very beautiful in June. We're going there. That's the Chinese garden. One thing I've learned is that Chinese and Japanese stuff was in fashion in the 1800s. So actually not in this palace, but in another palace called Villeneuve, I don't remember. There's a room called the Chinese room, and it was the same elsewhere in Europe. You're not allowed to go inside. Alright, sick. Chinese bridge. On the map they call this a Chinese garden, but there's not much of a garden here. There's just a pond, 2 rest stops that you're not even allowed to go into. At least you can walk on the bridge. So that's kind of cool. Alright. So, actually what we're going to do now is go inside the palace. Well, not go into the palace. I'm not going in because I've already been in there before. And the palace doesn't change. But we'll head to the palace now. Look at this sick bird. Oh, it's flying away from me. Well, since we're not going to the palace, I'll just sort of describe what's inside. Typical, very elegant marble statues and all that kind of great stuff. Paintings. One of the first rooms you enter is actually the bathroom, and the statues and decorations there all come from Greek mythology, which has the theme of baths basically. And I don't quite remember why, but one side is missing or not decorated or something like that, and there's a story behind it. I don't remember the story, but that's probably the most memorable thing from the palace. When I was here in March, I went on Google Maps and it showed 2 places. One's called the Palace on the Isle, and the other one's Pałac na Wyspie, which is the Polish name. and they show two different places. Today, if you look for it on Google Maps, it's the same place, so they managed to fix it. But it is quite confusing when you're trying to look for a place and you think it's somewhere, but for some reason Google's telling you it's somewhere else. So, good on Google for fixing that problem. Some pretty flowers. And here's the back of the palace. Look at this. And we'll look at the front first, but in the distance there, the trees are blocking it. There's a very beautiful bridge. And from one of these rooms on top, you can see one of those windows that are open. You can see all the way to that bridge, and it's a very nice view. But since we're not going inside, we can't see the view from there. But it's okay, we'll just walk to the bridge later. You know what better way to experience the view than to actually go there. Look at that statue. This is the front of the palace. The last time I was here, this place was completely empty. Like, really? There were like only me and two other tourists. Look, there's another bridge in the distance. And look at that stuff. You can even ride a boat. There was no boat ride last time I was here, that's for sure. I think the thing to do is to go to that bridge and get a nice view of the front of the palace. And maybe go check out that thing in the distance. Yes, lots of people here. Look at that beautiful willow tree. The water hose is really screwing up with the romantic view here. Yeah, it turns out the bridge is not the best place to take a picture of the castle, the palace. You gotta stand on the docks. Some pretty flowers. Palace. Lots of nice whipping willows. Alright. Let's walk to the bridge that's on the back of the palace. You can sort of see the bridge. It's honestly a more impressive bridge than the one that faces the front of the palace. What a shame. This bridge has a statue. I think we're outside the park. Who's this guy? Don't know him. But look at this. Why is this view at the back of the palace, not the front? What brilliant architect decided this should be the way it is? Alright, let's go back inside the park and check out some other stuff. Here's some history lessons about Japan and Poland. So of course I knew about the Japanese coming to Europe after the Meiji Restoration. But so apparently not only did they go to Western Europe, but also to Central Europe. I think this is the most interesting plaque. It says that this guy, this Polish, I guess general or whoever, went in 1904 to Japan to seek cooperation for the fight for the independence of Poland. That's crazy to think that in 1904 the Japanese were considered by the Polish to be so important and powerful that they went all the way out there to solicit help. And here's a Polish guy who went to study with the Ainu people in the north, in Hokkaido and stuff. Whoa. Diplomatic relations between the two countries. And there's some saving people, charity. A second Japan. What? This is definitely something I've never heard of before, but it is pretty cool. And the former emperor visited here 16 years ago. Japanese art. Who's this dude? This place is in Krakow, and I was actually going to visit there, but I didn't have time. They actually have Japanese language classes there. Here's something you don't see every day. Chopin admired the Japanese people. So the plaque says. Interesting. No, has been admired by the Japanese people. That's quite true. So many Japanese people was in Jerozowa Wola. Poles learn Japanese. Well. Yeah, so this is the manga museum thing. There's a language course. Interesting. Advanced technologies. Alright. Well, that was a very fun history lesson. This park is just avenues of trees. Really. Most of the park. But here, there's some kind of special flowers. So I think I'll actually end this video on the other side of the park with some statues. Because on this side it's really just mostly green, it's just trees, grass, people enjoying themselves. Do these even smell good? These don't smell like anything. This part. Oh, here's some cool flowers. Roses. An interesting plaque. The Chinese alleyway. I'm guessing it's this one. Doesn't look very special. Here's a restaurant. It is super expensive. But, yeah, lots of history here.